What if the next great sprint legend isn't waiting for the Olympics, but is already rewriting the record books at just 18 years old? For years, the world has searched for the athlete who could carry the future of the 200 meters into a new era. Many names have come and gone. Some showed incredible promise. Others faded under the weight of impossible expectations. But then, on one unforgettable day at the Australian Championships, everything changed. As the runners exploded out of the blocks, no one expected history to arrive quite so fast. For the first half of the race, Gout Gout looked locked in a fierce battle with his closest rivals. It seemed like it would be another exciting final, but nothing more. Then came the final 100 meters. In the blink of an eye, Gout shifted gears in a way that left the stadium stunned. The gap widened. The clock kept ticking. And when he crossed the finish line, the scoreboard revealed a number that sent shockwaves through the track and field world. A legal wind. A new world junior record. One of the fastest 200-meter performances in history. But the astonishing time was only part of the story. Hidden behind that incredible race was months of pressure, setbacks, expectations, and a transformation that almost nobody saw coming. And once you understand how it all happened, you'll realize this wasn't just a record-breaking run, it may have been the beginning of a new sprinting era. Long before the world began comparing him to sprinting legends, Gout Gout was simply a young athlete with extraordinary speed and a dream that seemed almost impossible. Born in Australia to South Sudanese parents, he quickly stood out on the track. Coaches noticed it first. Then local competitions. Before long, videos of his races were spreading across social media, with fans amazed at how effortlessly he covered the ground. But with that attention came enormous expectations. Every time Gout stepped onto the track, people wanted to know if he could run even faster. Every race became a test, and every performance was measured against the biggest names in sprinting history. Being labeled a future superstar sounds exciting, but for a teenager, it also brings a level of pressure that few athletes ever experience. Despite the hype, Gout remained focused on improving the basics. His training wasn't about chasing headlines, it was about refining his technique, building strength, and learning how to race smarter. Coaches believed his natural talent was only part of the equation. To compete with the world's best, he would need discipline, patience, and the ability to keep improving year after year. The 2025 season proved just how much potential he possessed. He produced breathtaking performances in the 200 meters, showing an explosive finishing speed that immediately caught the attention of track analysts around the world. Many experts pointed out that his final stretch was unlike anything they had seen from an athlete his age. It wasn't just that he was fast. It was how quickly he accelerated when others were beginning to slow down. Still, the journey wasn't completely smooth. As the new season approached, fans expected him to pick up exactly where he had left off. Instead, one of his early races raised unexpected questions. His performance fell well below the incredibly high standards people had come to expect, and almost immediately, speculation began to spread. Had the pressure finally caught up with him? Was he struggling with his form? Had rival athletes begun closing the gap? The answers came shortly afterward. Gout had been battling the flu, a setback that affected his preparation and performance. While disappointing, it reminded everyone that even the most gifted athletes face challenges beyond their control. That difficult race soon became little more than a footnote. As the Australian National Championships drew closer, Gout returned healthier, sharper, and more determined than ever. Quietly, he and his team believed something special was possible. Few people, however, could have imagined just how extraordinary his next performance would become. What happened on the biggest stage would not only silence every remaining doubt, it would send shockwaves through the entire world of track and field and place Gout Gout firmly among the sport's brightest young stars. When the men's 200-meter final began at the Australian National Championships, the atmosphere was electric. Gout Gout entered the race as the favorite, but everyone knew that being the favorite and delivering under pressure are two very different challenges. The field was packed with talented sprinters, each determined to produce the race of their lives. As the starting gun echoed through the stadium, Gout exploded out of the blocks with purpose. Yet something immediately caught the attention of spectators. Unlike some of his previous races, he wasn't pulling away from the field in the opening stages. Aidan Murphy and Caleb Law stayed right beside him around the curve, making it look as though this would be a tightly contested battle all the way to the finish. For a brief moment, it seemed the race could go in anyone's favor. Then everything changed. As the runners entered the final straight, Gout found another gear. His stride became smoother, his turnover quicker, and with every step he created more separation from the athletes chasing him. The crowd sensed they were witnessing something extraordinary. The cheers grew louder with every meter until the finish line finally arrived. When Gout crossed first, all eyes turned to the clock. The stadium erupted. His official time of 19.67 seconds, achieved with a legal tailwind, wasn't just another personal best. It shattered the championship record, lowered his own Australian national record, and officially made him the new world junior record holder in the 200 meters. At just 18 years old, he had surpassed one of the most remarkable junior marks ever set. The reaction was immediate. Fans flooded social media with messages celebrating the historic performance. Track and field analysts called it one of the greatest junior races ever recorded, while commentators praised not only the finishing time but also the way Gout executed the race from start to finish. What impressed experts even more was his race strategy. Earlier in his career, Gout often relied on an explosive finish after a slower opening. This time, however, he combined a stronger first half with the devastating closing speed that had already become his trademark. It was a sign that he wasn't simply running faster, he was becoming a more complete sprinter. And perhaps the most exciting part was that this performance didn't feel like the finish of his journey. Instead, it looked like the beginning of something much bigger. With the World Junior Championship still ahead and his confidence higher than ever, the biggest question was no longer whether Gout Gout was a rising star. It was just how high his ceiling could truly be. As the excitement settled, analysts began looking beyond the finish time. They wanted to understand how Gout Gout had produced such an extraordinary performance. The deeper they examined the race, the more remarkable it became. One statistic stood above all the others: his closing speed. Data from the race showed that Gout covered the final 100 meters at an astonishing pace, placing his finish among the fastest ever recorded in a world-class 200-meter race. For years, athletes like Usain Bolt and Johan Blake set the standard for explosive finishes. Now, an 18-year-old Australian had entered that conversation. What made the performance even more impressive was its balance. In previous seasons, Gout often depended on an incredible late surge after a relatively conservative opening. This time, however, he attacked the first half of the race with greater confidence while still maintaining his trademark acceleration down the home straight. It was clear evidence that his overall race execution had reached another level. That improvement has enormous implications for the future. Elite sprinting isn't just about raw speed. It's about combining a powerful start, efficient running mechanics, intelligent pacing, and the ability to accelerate when fatigue begins to set in. Gout's performance suggested that all of those pieces are starting to come together at exactly the right time. The achievement also sent a message to the rest of the sprinting world. Australia has produced outstanding athletes across many sports, but performances like this are rare in the 200 meters. Gout's record-breaking run has inspired a new generation of young sprinters who now see that competing with the world's best is no longer just a dream. Of course, one incredible race doesn't guarantee future success. The challenges ahead will only become greater. International championships bring stronger competition, higher expectations, and intense pressure. Every opponent will study his races, searching for weaknesses and ways to close the gap. But if this performance proved anything, it's that Gout Gout thrives on big moments. Instead of shrinking under the weight of expectations, he has continued to rise above them, rewriting records that many believed would stand for years. The World Junior Championships now represent the next major test, and fans around the globe will be watching closely. Can he run even faster? Can he challenge the world's best senior athletes? Or is this only the first chapter of an even greater story? Only time will reveal the answers. But one thing is already certain, Gout Gout is no longer simply a promising young talent. He has announced himself as one of the brightest stars in track and field, and if his rapid rise continues, this unforgettable race may one day be remembered as the moment a future sprinting legend truly arrived. What an incredible story. From being a promising young sprinter with enormous expectations to becoming the official world junior record holder in the 200 meters, Gout Gout has shown the world that talent, hard work, and determination can produce truly historic moments. His record-breaking run wasn't just about stopping the clock in an astonishing time, it was a glimpse into what the future of sprinting might look like. Now the biggest question is yours to answer. Do you believe Gout Gout has what it takes to become the next global superstar of track and field? Could he one day challenge the greatest names in sprinting history, or is it still too early to make those comparisons? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so join the conversation by sharing your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more in-depth stories about the world's fastest athletes, unforgettable races, and the biggest moments in track and field, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep chasing greatness, keep believing in the impossible, and remember, today's rising star could become tomorrow's sporting legend. We'll see you in the next documentary.